Hey, my fellow hustlers, we're back with another episode, and we have an awesome guest today, Mr. JDub. JDub Buys Houses, right?
That's right. Yeah,
Yes.
JW Buys Houses.
Yes, sir. You're a real estate investor?
I'm a real estate investor. That's
Okay,
right.
sweet. Let's jump right into it. So,
Yeah.
what's your business? Buys Houses, and you invest in commercial, residential?
Mostly residential. I mean, I would do commercial. I don't have any commercial. It's kind of a whole different beast.
Yeah.
But if the right thing came along, so yeah, technically I'm a real estate wholesaler.
Okay.
I advertise for distressed properties when they come up. Then I go to the homeowner and figure out what their problem is. I mean,
Yeah.
they've got a challenge. They're behind on payments.
Yeah.
Can't make repairs on the house. Inheritance.
Yeah.
Whatever the situation might be, and try to figure out if I'm the right solution. And I'm not the right solution for everybody.
For a lot of people.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I understand that, but there's some people that just want to be done. They're like,
Yeah.
Here, what will you do?
Give me what you can.
Yeah,
and
give me
let's
what
move
you
on.
can, and let's go on about life.
Yeah. And how long have you been doing that, JW?
Yeah, so this is starting my 4th year of business.
4th year.
Uh-huh.
So it's a little while, but not too long.
Yeah, it seems like it was just yesterday. So
How's it been going? Like,
it's awesome.
It's awesome.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I've got some rental properties as well.
okay.
And I say I'm like Bluebell. Bluebell says they eat all they can and they sell the rest. Well, I keep all I can and I sell the rest. That's right.
So you try to keep most of your properties.
I try to keep as many as I can.
Yeah. How many doors did you have?
I've got 23.
So 23 in 4 years. Or
That's
did
right.
you start investing before part time? Or
A little bit. So probably 1 year before.
Okay.
I bought 6 houses all at one time.
Yeah.
And then I was still working my W-2 at that time.
Okay.
And so then I've just
What
keep adding on.
What made you like it, or how did that start?
Yeah, that's a great question. So everybody says that real estate is the fastest way to grow your wealth.
Yes.
And I just started looking at it. I was on Facebook and I saw a guy. I saw a guy that was advertising a house. This was back before COVID. But he was selling a house for $14,000. So I reached out to him and I was like, "How do you sell a house for $14,000? Like this doesn't make sense." So called him and we started talking and he kind of explained what he was doing. I was like, okay.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, and I was still, I was in the car business for 20 years, so I was still working more than 40 hours a week.
Yeah. Yeah. They have long hours, huh? Car sales.
Super long hours.
Yeah. I have some people that come in and they're like, "Man, I'm just tired of work like every day till dark."
Yeah.
That's crazy hours.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. No, it was. I probably work more hours now,
Yeah.
but I've got freedom.
Yeah.
I mean, I work from this thing.
Yeah.
It's always there. I can be on the road. I can be traveling and still
flexible.
take care of things.
Yeah.
But so I started visiting with him and actually got started. I was doing some hard money loans. I'd rolled over my 401k, and so I had complete control of it. And I started using that money to make loans.
Make loans.
And so that kind of got me in, and I was like, oh, so this is what's going on. and I figured out, I was like, okay, so how do you get these leads?
Yeah.
I started advertising on Google, and just started, after, so COVID, let's back up just a minute. COVID just absolutely decimated inventory levels.
Yeah.
And
For cars, right?
For cars. And, the place where I was at, I'd been there. I still love him, Bobby Doobie.
Bobby Doobie.
Yeah, Bobby Doobie Motors.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Bobby's awesome. He's probably the best guy I've ever worked for.
Really?
Hands down, bar none.
Yeah.
I'd been in the business for a long time at that point, and about 6 months before I went to him, I was like, "Bobby, do I need to start looking for a job? Like, I mean, it's getting tough."
Scary. Yeah.
Because during COVID, I mean, everything was selling and everything started selling fast. Well, then nobody was making anything.
Yeah.
So inventory got super short, and he's like, "No, everything's gonna be fine. It's gonna be great." And I said, "Okay, perfect." And it's just the way he is.
Yeah.
And then he came to me in December, and he said, I need to let you go." And he was in tears.
Really?
I mean, he'd been in business for 20 years, never had to let anybody go. And I said, "Bobby, I get it. Like, I understand. Like, I saw the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
So, you know, he paid me through December, and I was like, what am I going to do? I didn't know. I thought I wanted to sell insurance. I tried that, and it was boring.
Yeah.
And I kind of, you know, dabbled in real estate just a little bit. And I did, like I said, I just started advertising, and things just started happening and coming and coming super, super fast.
Yeah. That's good. Do you so starting off, you jumped right into like the Google advertising, or was it just Facebook, or it was all of it? You went all in.
I went all in.
All in.
100%. So, you know, full transparency, I laid around the house and moped for about 30, 45 days.
Yeah. Took a long vacation.
It was, and I had an identity crisis.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, that's what I'd done. I sold cars
20 years?
my whole life.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially, since right out of school.
Yeah.
And so yeah, then my wife was like, "It's time to get up and like
do
something like this. This ain't gonna work. You've had your pity party long enough." And yeah, I just pushed all chips.
Wow.
All chips to the middle, and started advertising. The best thing that I did was get a mentor.
Okay.
So, you know, Michael Dodson here in town.
I've heard about him.
Yeah, he's a local investor. He had a post on Facebook that he's like, "Hey, I've got a mentorship. If anybody's, you know, I'll help you out." And so I reached out to him, and that's been that was the first best thing that I ever did.
Yeah. Does he still do that?
He does.
Yeah.
He and I actually have we do some advertising together now as well. We have a small portfolio together as well.
Oh, nice.
So this has been, you know, 3 years in the making. The next best thing I did was RJ Bates III is a nationwide virtual wholesaler.
Okay.
So he was on, and he had a mentorship class.
Okay.
So I joined that. That is those are like 1A and 1B. And one's 1A because it just happened to be the first one.
Yeah.
But getting mentors and bouncing ideas off of people and surround yourself with like people to help yourself build and grow. That is the best thing that I've done for my business.
Yeah. That's good. I feel like if you want to take a leap at something, you got to go in it 100%, and then be open to learning from other people. Get a mentor, like you said. You know, what do you feel like was the hardest part about getting started?
Getting started,
like just going for it.
I mean, you have to commit.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what you're doing in life. I mean,
anything.
You're a business owner, right? I mean,
kind of.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
You know, I mean, you've got stuff going on. I mean, you have to commit to doing it. If you just do it halfway, it's not going to succeed. And I'm not saying you got to go quit your job. Yeah. I'm not saying you got to quit your day job, but you got to commit to doing it and have consistency.
Yeah.
You've got to show up every day, even if it's just 1 hour a day. Show up for that hour and give all that you can.
For sure. Do you feel like it's more important to jump right into it? Because I hear both sides of this. You can either just go for it, 100% jump into it, or strategize, make your plan, and then jump into the next thing. Because some people say, well, if you never just go for it, you'll never do it. What do you think is more important?
That's a great question. That's a loaded question. I mean, it just depends. I think it's naive, and I think it's foolish to not have a plan.
Yes.
But you've got to execute on the plan. Yeah. So you can have a plan. You call it analysis paralysis, right? I mean, you sit and analyze stuff all the time, and then you don't ever do it. So at some point you have to take action. But if you're wanting to go do something and just to quit what you're doing and not have a plan, not have any source of income, that's irresponsible. So I mean, the two have to merge. But you got to have a plan, and then you got to act on the plan and then move forward. Yeah,
I feel like that's very important for sure. And then your flips. So you say you try to keep most of them as rentals. Mm-hmm. What size of homes do you go for?
Yeah, that's a great question. Mm-hmm. So if somebody calls me, I'll buy any size house.
Okay.
I mean, there's nothing too small. There's nothing too big.
Too big.
You just got to think about your exit strategy, and how am I going to get rid of this house?
Yeah.
I mean, because at the end of the day, or what am I going to do? How am I going to monetize? How am I going to monetize this house?
It's your business. You have to,
that's right. I mean, you got to buy something. That's the nature of an investment. Doesn't matter if you're investing in houses or if you're investing in the stock market. I mean, you intend to buy it low.
Yeah.
And sell it high, right? There's stocks that pay dividends every, quarterly or annually, and that's similar to houses as well.
Yeah. What do you do any stock trading or anything like that? Bitcoin?
No, I don't. I mean, it's interesting and it's alluring. I've actually pulled everything that I had out of the market. Not that I have control, because ultimately God's in control.
Yes.
But
it gets scary. It gets scary.
I don't want somebody else being able to manipulate those things.
Yeah.
I think, we can go down that whole other rabbit hole, but I think stocks can be manipulated. I think the government can manipulate things, good and bad.
Yeah.
Both sides of that coin. So.
Yeah, that's so true. It's kind of scary sometimes.
Absolutely, it is. It's real scary.
Whenever you go buy a property, how do you define if it's a good property to buy or not? Because I've talked to you a lot before. I've called you. I was like, hey, this might be a good deal. You're like, no, don't do it. Or, how do you analyze all that?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So let's back up on the size, because we kind of got sidetracked.
Yeah.
So size of a rental, I try to keep stuff under 1,000 square foot.
Okay.
The reason for that is if you can operate with certainty, right? There's so much uncertainty in the world, okay? But if you can operate within a level of certainty, then you know what to expect.
Yeah.
The smaller the house, you can mitigate your risk.
Yeah.
People are going to tear them up.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're going to destroy your house. Just
that's what you always tell me.
Yeah, not everyone, right? But there's people that are going to destroy your house. So keep the size small. The bigger it is, the more expensive it's going to be when you have to go in and turn it over.
Yeah.
Obviously you hope you put somebody in there and they stay for 10 years, but that's the exception and not the rule. And so I try to keep stuff within 1,000 square foot. Yes, there's obviously smaller is better.
Yeah.
It's going to rent for less. The smaller the house, you're not going to get as much appreciation. So there's like two sides of that coin, because you have cash flow and you have appreciation. Yep. For me, I'm still relatively new, still trying to get started. I need cash flow.
Yeah.
As those things build, then I'll kind of upgrade and go to stuff that gets more appreciation. So you go to a bigger house, you go to your A and B class locations. You're going to get more appreciation on the house. So your cash flow isn't there. You're going to have a lot more equity in the house.
Yeah.
And your cash flow is going to be very small. I know some guys that have negative cash flow, and they're okay with that because they have enough properties that have positive cash flow to offset that, and they need those properties for the appreciation, because houses are going to go up. Housing is the only thing that will offset inflation. Okay. If you follow real estate, you know that real estate follows inflation.
Yeah.
If things go down, real estate goes down.
Yeah.
I mean, so you're kind of hedging your bet.
Yeah. So you try to stay within that 1,000 square foot range.
For a rental, ideally. I mean, I've got some stuff that's 1,200 square foot, but somebody called me on I'm not keeping a 2,500 square foot. Not me, not right now.
Those you would flip.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's different levels of flip. Like you can go and do the HGTV sexy flip, right?
Yeah.
And those are great, and they make good pictures, but did you really hit your audience?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, my goal is to try to keep housing affordable.
Okay.
Whether it's a rental or what it is. Like, you don't know what somebody's going to want. Like, I might be able to sell you a house and you're okay with all that stuff that I just ripped out.
Yeah.
And put brand,
I liked it.
That's right. Yeah. There was anything wrong with it. So there's different levels of that, right? I mean, sometimes I'll buy a house and I'll just clean it out and clean it up.
Yeah.
And remarket it for someone else that either wants it as a rental, or a homeowner that wants to buy it and wants to, DIY. I mean, there's a huge market.
That's true. I didn't think about that part, because some people want to remodel it to their liking.
Absolutely.
So they can just buy it like that.
So
Makes sense.
I try to hit the masses.
Yeah.
I look at, slightly off subject, but I look at everything as a bell curve. So, 70% of things are average, and you've got 15% on the outliers on either side. Well, I just want to hit the 70%.
70%.
The outliers can be out there.
That makes sense. Yeah. What is one of the longest tenants that you've had in your rentals?
Oh wow.
They usually stay pretty long, no? Or no?
It just depends.
Depends.
Yeah, I've got some people. One of the original 6 houses that I bought, they've been in the house like since 2011.
Okay, that's a long time.
That is a long time. I've got some properties that I've recently bought, and I think I've got some people that have been there for 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
That I bought, rehab the property, put them in there, and they're still there. But I don't know.
That would be the longest. 2011.
11 is the longest that I've got. So I've heard some guys that have had people in there, 15, 20 years. Paid a house off 2 or 3 times. Though just that one set of tenants. I've heard other people
crazy,
tell me about that. Absolutely, that's crazy.
That's really crazy to me. What is do you have like any crazy deals that you've made that you just regretted it right off the bat? Because it happens, right?
It does happen, right? You've got to try to mitigate that. Yeah. So
going back to it, remember I was gonna buy this building?
Yeah.
Before you're like, don't do it.
Yeah, I did tell you that. And look at you now. I mean, this place is rocking.
It's awesome, huh?
It is awesome.
But I was like, man, I really want it, and then. But I always look to go to you like to mentorship, like you said.
Sure.
Hey, I want to pick your brain, see what you're thinking.
And if at the end of the day, you figured out a way to monetize this place. Because when you called me at first, this was like just going to be a storage for like for you were looking for an office for you and
podcast
and so, but you figured out a way to monetize it. And at the end of the day, you got to figure out how to cash flow. And I'm assuming you figured out how to make this make at least pay for itself.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you're looking to do.
That's true.
So, I was talking to somebody the other day, and his comment on real estate was, if you buy it and you don't ever sell it, you can't go wrong. I don't necessarily subscribe to that, but it's hard to argue with it. If you pay too much for something and you got repairs, at the end of the day, if it stays rented, someone else is going to pay for 100% of that house.
Yeah.
That building, whatever it is. But you asked me about the craziest deal.
Yeah, the craziest deal.
So I bought a house in Borger, Texas.
Okay.
So I'll buy a house really anywhere. I try to stay, within 100, 150 miles of Amarillo, but I'll buy a house anywhere.
Okay.
Lady called, and so I go up and look at the house. It's full of stuff, completely full. It's like
a hoarder or no? Almost.
Yes. Yes. Complete hoarder.
Yeah.
And so it was completely full. It was her dad's house. She told me, this is where it gets crazy. She told me she was the only heir. So I'm like, well, okay. Take everything to the title company and look at the house. And I gave her like, I don't know, $7,000-8,000 for the house. And I knew that it was too much. Like I was like, I couldn't even see anything.
Yeah.
I paid $3,000 to clean the house out.
Wow. That's a lot of money. Clean it out?
Just to clean it out. Wow. Just to get the trash out of the house.
That's crazy.
That is not the most expensive clean out that I've done, for the record.
We can talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah. So get it all cleaned out, put a for sale sign on the house, and it's sitting there. And I get a call on my cell phone from the Hutchinson County Jail.
Oh.
And I answer the phone. I'm like, hello. And the lady goes, why are you selling my house? And I said, what?
What are you talking
about? I'd already closed at the title company. Like closed, everything's done.
Wow.
And I said, I don't know what you're talking about. And I don't even remember the name of the street. Anyway, she tells me, yeah, that's my house. And I said, no, I bought the house from this lady. That's my sister.
No.
And so she was an heir. And title missed it. So anyway, we got it all.
I was about to say, how does...
Yeah, so there's title insurance that you buy. So I had title insurance that insured that I had clear title to the property. And anyway, the title if the title company wouldn't have been able to figure it out, they would have had to have reimbursed me for for
what you
everything.
spent and all that.
That's right. They ended up they settled with her. And
Do they reimburse for what you put in or for the whole sale that you could have possibly
I
sold it
believe,
for or whatever?
yeah, I think I don't know.
Okay.
I know I get the purchase price, and I think you get whatever you have spent. You know, obviously you got to have proof of that. But yeah, it was crazy. The call from the jail was the
That would be
craziest
crazy.
part about
Yeah.
it. But I actually lost, I don't know, like $3,000 or $4,000 selling that house, and I was happy to do it.
Yeah.
Like it was a nightmare, and I was ready to be
Just get out of.
done with it. And so yeah, it was that's
pretty-
the
that's pretty
worst
crazy.
deal
That's
that I've
pretty
ever
crazy.
done.
Really?
Yeah.
And then what about the biggest cleanup that you're talking about?
Yeah,
How much did you pay on that one?
So the clean out was a little over $5,000. There were 300 cubic yards of trash.
No.
I think it's 320 cubic yards of trash in this house.
Was that here in Amarillo?
No, it was in Pampa.
Pampa.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
So the house was full. Like I walked through the house the first time, my feet did not touch the floor because of the trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you come across a lot of the houses like that, hoarders and?
Those are the two worst that I've
Yeah.
ever seen. So I wouldn't say a lot, but I
Okay.
mean, when you call like people watch hoarders and they
Yeah,
see
like
it.
that.
I mean, there's hoarders that you and I would call hoarders, but those two are definitely the extreme.
Okay.
And you know, those are on.
Yeah.
I talk about the bell curve.
yeah.
I mean, those are on the extremes. So most of them are just normal stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
That's cool.
yeah.
Do you where are you from? Where'd you graduate?
Yeah.
Where'd you grow up and go to school and all that?
Yeah, great question. So I grew up in Livingston, Texas. It's an hour north of Houston.
Okay.
And went to South Plains College in Levelland. And then I graduated and transferred to Texas A&M in College Station.
Okay.
I graduated from Texas A&M. And
What degree did you get?
health education. I've used my degree 0
I know,
days.
yeah. Why don't you use that?
Yeah, so I graduated. I was going to be an athletic trainer at a high school setting, and I graduated in December. There weren't any jobs. I'd moved up to Amarillo with I was with my first wife. She was from here, and so we moved up here. And I couldn't. There were no jobs. I graduated middle of December. There were no jobs at the schools. The guy I was doing my student teaching with, his brother was a manager at G. Messer Ford.
Okay.
So he's like, "It'll be all right. Just go talk to Phil, and he'll get you a job." So I go up there and started selling cars and
Out of college?
Yeah, right after I graduated. So I worked for G. Messer for a while.
That's where you first started your career in cars.
Yeah. Started.
How long were you there at Gene Messer?
So I sold for about 6 months and then went into F&I. I was at G. Messer for about 6 years, I think. And then AutoNation bought the Cadillac store. So I was actually the general manager at the Cadillac store for a short period of time.
Okay.
So it was Gene Messer Cadillac. AutoNation bought the Cadillac store. And so Cadillac moved over to Westgate Chevrolet.
Okay.
And I was part of the short version. I was part of the acquisition.
Nice.
But there's a little more to that. But I was part of the acquisition. So I went over there and I was there for I think I was there for a total of 12 years.
That's a long time.
That is a long time.
We were talking about it a little earlier. The hours the car salespeople work. Yeah. How did that look for you?
It was terrible at a time. So we homeschool our kids. It's been the biggest blessing for us.
Since they were little?
From the very beginning.
Wow.
And it worked out great for us, especially my hours. So there was a time that I worked 6.5 days a week.
Yeah.
I was off on Sunday. I had another day off during the week, but I had to go in until noon. So, on my day off, which was Wednesday, I think I would go in from 8 until noon and then go home. But I would go in at 8 o'clock. I'd either get off at 6 or whenever the last person left. And some days that might be 10, 11 o'clock.
Yeah. I know when I bought a Camaro one time and I was up there till like 9.
Yeah.
Trying to get approved and all that. So you had to wait up there till everybody was gone.
So everybody was gone. I
That's
was
crazy.
as the last person to leave.
So you're in heaven right now with your job, right? I mean, the flexibility.
The flexibility, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not on the phone at 10 or 11
Yeah.
o'clock at night. I might be on the computer trying to look at things and figure things out and plan things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not talking to customers. But yeah, there's
Yeah.
there's definitely some long nights.
And then moving to Amarillo and stuff. What do you like to do for fun here?
Work.
Everybody says that. I feel like you've seen all the other episodes because everybody I ask, that's what they say, work. But I bring a bunch of business owners, hustlers. So, but you have to do. You like fishing, basketball, football.
I play golf.
You like to golf?
Yeah, yeah. I like. I don't play, but I enjoy to play. But it's not work to me.
So it's fun.
When I go to, like, people call it work. My wife and kids call it work.
Yeah.
I call it work because you're
making money.
If I said I'm going to have fun, then nobody would. They'd be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
But I enjoy it. Like, it's not work.
Yeah.
And I get fulfillment out of it because I get to help people. There's people that call me that are in dire straits, like they need to sell their house.
Yeah.
And there's repairs that need to be made. I mean, they're fixing to lose their house. They don't have the money to make the repairs that are needed, and it's hard. I mean, they don't have the time to put it on the market or realtors tell them there's nothing that you can do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get to meet a lot of interesting people.
So that's your fun work.
It is fun. I like to go on vacation.
Okay.
When
was the last trip you took?
So we went skiing.
Where'd you go?
We went to Red River the last time.
I like Red River.
Yeah.
I like the feeling, the little bars and stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've been to Copper Mountain. Have you been there?
I haven't been to Copper Mountain. So
nice.
My favorite place to ski is either Breckenridge or Beaver Creek.
Breckenridge. Yeah.
Yeah. So Beaver Creek is about an hour north of Breckenridge.
Okay.
And it's awesome.
Do you try to go every year or?
Yeah, we'll go ski at least once a year.
At least.
And try to go 2 to 3 times. But we got 3 kids, so there's 5 of us. It gets
How old are your kids?
Yeah, the son is fixing to be 16.
That's the one I met, right?
Yeah.
And it's crazy that he's very respectful. Like you can tell.
Yeah.
Like the way he talks and stuff. It might be the homeschooling.
Maybe.
You think so?
I mean, both of us, my wife and I respond to our kids. We respond to them, yes, sir, yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, we show them respect.
Yeah.
One, because we wanted to teach them that. And the only way to teach that is to model that.
For sure.
It's crazy. They will say yes, sir, and yes, ma'am to one another.
Really?
Not all the time. There's
I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, I mean, not all the time,
Yeah.
but I mean, they do. And it's just, you've got a daughter.
Yeah.
Life isn't perfect, but you try to model. I just want my kids to be better people than me at the end of the day.
That's so true. Do you think why'd y'all decide to homeschool? What do you think about the school system, or you like it, or it was just something that benefited y'all better?
It was. My wife had always felt that she wanted to homeschool. She felt a calling to homeschool. And I was completely against it. I was like, no, we're not going to do that. And she's like, yeah, we are. And it took lots of prayer for me to come around to it. God softened my heart to it, and I'm so thankful.
Yeah.
Again, it's one of the best things that we've ever done for our family.
Yeah. He seems very respectful and like a good kid.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. So you talked about praying and stuff. Are you very religious?
I am. Yeah.
Where do y'all go to church?
We go to First Baptist Church. Yeah, downtown Amarillo.
Downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Is that with the green roof? The big old church?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always look at that. I was like, man, I'm gonna get it one day.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Come with me. We'll go Sunday.
No, JW. But so, what's some advice you'd give to somebody that wants to start in the investing in properties, whether it's commercial, residential?
Do some research. Find a mentor. Get some information.
Yeah. Where do you get your stuff from? Your information.
Man, I study
podcasts, books.
Yeah. You talk about books. I mean, I've read more in the last 8 months than I've read in the last 20 years.
Really?
Personal development, personal growth. I mean, understanding who who I am, who I want to be, what I'm trying to do. But again, going back to the very first thing, find a mentor. Find someone that you follow, that you respect, study, reach out to them.
Reach out to them.
People in the real estate world love sharing.
Yeah.
I love sharing.
I know. That's why I reach out to you all the time.
Yeah.
You even gave me the big box of the books to read. For real estate. I still have them. I haven't read them, but I still have them.
I think it was that because I was going to take my real estate license, and then you told me you wanted to, and I was like, "Here, I've already bought them. You can have them."
I at least wanted to learn about it, like what they look at, and just knowledge.
Yeah.
Knowledge. Yeah. What books do you recommend to read? You said like I like motivational or like Atomic Habits is a good one.
Okay, I haven't read Atomic Habits.
It's a good one.
I'm drawing a blank. Jocko.
Sorry, I put you on the spot.
No, that's good. I'll pull up my Goodreads and pull up my books. But Jocko Willink wrote.
He's good.
Something on leadership. Hang on just a second. Let's pull that up.
Let's pull it up. He's crazy. I've heard him on the Joe Rogan podcast. He's very motivational and
let's see.
Crazy.
Extreme Ownership. Yeah. Extreme Ownership. It's a great book.
Yeah. What are you doing? What are you reading now?
Right now, I am. Reading a book called Chop Wood and Carry Water.
Chop Wood and Carry Water.
It's about discipline.
Okay.
It's about consistency.
There you go.
So it's it's fiction, but it's got principles mixed in through it. But this guy wants to go be a samurai, and it's set in present day.
Yeah.
But it's just talking about consistency, doing the same thing, and going through that every single day.
You know what book is really good that kind of surprised me? Will by Will Smith.
Okay.
Have you read that one?
I haven't read that.
No, you should. Like at first I was kind of standoffish, but it's a really good book.
So on that topic, Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey is that is probably my favorite book. I've listened to that book 3 times. You can't read it. Well, you can read it, but I mean, why would you read it when you listen to Matthew McConaughey?
He narrates.
Okay. Yes, he narrates the book, and it's funny.
Yeah.
It is inspirational.
Yeah.
It is probably my favorite book, and it's not a business book, but it's easy.
Yeah.
Easy to listen to. So
might be something to check out.
Yeah.
Do you rather listen or read?
It depends.
Depends on the book.
Depends on the book. So, I was Buzz Williams. He's a basketball coach at Texas A&M, and he was talking to the journalism department after they played Missouri a few weeks ago. And one of the things that he recommended, he said, write everything down, all the time. And I got to thinking, I was like, how many times do I not remember something? Well, if you write it down, you go through the act. It's just one more way to help get that. So I'm getting older. I'm a few years older than you are. I forget things.
We look the same age.
Yeah. You're in a lot better shape than I am, for sure. To write things down, and so whether I'm listening, and I just started this practice, but whether I'm listening or reading, I'm starting to take some notes.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I learned in that I've learned from RJ and Titanium University is just to study, write things down, take notes, be diligent. It's just great.
That's good. Let's talk about the podcast. You're thinking about maybe starting a podcast.
No, I am going to start a podcast.
You're going to do it.
I am going to do it.
All right.
So just getting more active. At the end of the day, let's just call it what it is. I mean, we're trying to build a brand. We're trying to bring business to ourselves.
Yeah, we talked about this earlier. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it's all about, right?
For sure.
I want to bring value. I've got knowledge. I've got information, and I want to share it. I've got people that I have that I'm friends with, in communication with, and they want to do the same thing. So yeah, I mean, ultimately, I want to build a brand. I want people to come to me when I want them to think about me when they have a house that they need to sell, that they need to sell quickly. I sell houses as well. Yeah. So if somebody's looking for an investment property, then I want to be able to do that. I want to talk about that, pros and cons.
That's smart.
So, and there's things that I'm going to learn. I don't know a lot about commercial. So, I was talking with Michael, and we're going to have somebody here locally in town come on the podcast.
Does he do commercial, Michael?
Michael has done some commercial. Again, mostly residential.
Yeah.
He's been investing for 20 years.
Wow.
He started young.
Yeah.
I wish I would have started when he did, but I was grinding for somebody else for the longest time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just get it, get it out there and share, bring value to others, and it'll come back.
For sure. Well, do you have a name for it yet or no?
I don't. No, I've Googled some names, and it's going to be
ChatGPT.
I don't even hardly know about chat. I mean, I heard about it, but I don't know how it works.
How do you write all your posts and stuff? Out the dome?
Yeah.
Man, you need to use that app.
That's what I've heard.
It's legit.
It's
legit.
It's hard.
You can even create pictures and
I've heard all these things. Yeah. So
that's a good app to download, and it's free.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's free. Yeah. But let's come up with a name.
Okay. No, I did Google it the other day and tried to got some stuff, but it's going to be centered around real estate.
Real estate. Investing, selling.
Yeah.
All that good stuff.
Yeah.
Financing. Hard money lending.
Yeah. I mean, anything that involves investing, whatever. Primarily real estate.
I don't think anybody's doing that right now. Do you know? Are they?
Oh, there's plenty of
podcasts,
real estate podcasts. Oh, okay. And hopefully, somebody else told me the same thing. Yeah. And hopefully, there's a whole new audience that I can attract and bring in. Obviously, I'm going to be. Real estate is real estate. Yeah. Whether it's in Amarillo or Kalamazoo, it's still real estate. Principles still come into effect.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm excited for you. It'll be fun.
No, I appreciate it.
I'm here if you need any help with anything.
Okay, yeah.
Like always, I'm always calling you for advice.
Yeah.
You can call me now.
Yeah.
For once.
I need somebody to teach me how to run all this stuff when I get ready to do it, because it is overwhelming.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Well, so what's the future look like for JDub Buys Houses?
Future's so bright, I need to wear shades. No,
that's a good quote.
That's a song. You're probably not old enough to even.
No. I thought it was a quote. I was like, "Who's that by?"
Yeah, I don't know who it's by, but it's a song. And
you don't have a 5-year plan. No,
I just want to buy. I mean, I buy and sell houses like people trade stocks. Yeah, that's what I look at them as.
Okay.
Depend on the day. I mean, I want to continue to build my real estate portfolio, help others along the way, and see what happens.
Make it work.
Yeah,
Do you have a certain amount of doors you want to get to? So
it's a great question.
Like before retiring or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know what retirement is. Like retirement is something that you do, in my opinion, something you do when you get ready to die. Yeah. My wife knows that. It's like she knows I'm not ever going to retire. Yeah. In the sense that some people think of. Yeah. But I had a goal of 50 doors when I got started, and I was like, okay, so I'll get to 50, and then life is great. Mm-hmm. Well, Michael asked me one day, he goes, okay, so after you get 50, the next house that you buy, like the 51st house comes along, are you just not going to buy it? I'm like, well, that's a stupid question. Like, I'm going to buy it, right? Yeah. And I don't have a total number. No. At some point, I think I would like to sell a block of houses off and kind of take some of that equity and upgrade. Get some of the houses that are going to catch more appreciation. Yeah. Think about real estate and Monopoly, the game Monopoly.
Bro, I've never played that game.
You've never played the game?
I've heard. I mean,
okay, so
I don't even know. No.
Roll the die, you go around, and you buy a house. Okay. Well, then you buy another house. After 4 houses, then you can build a hotel. Okay. So ultimately, that's what you're trying to do. Like,
so you eventually want to get into commercial?
I don't know. I mean. Yeah, whatever that looks like.
If it's a good deal,
I look for cash flow. Okay, there's people that buy land and they want to develop, and I mean, to me, I don't know. Maybe I'm short sighted on some of that, and I'm not saying that I won't do that, but
well, you're still fairly new. 4 years.
Yeah,
you're fresh.
I am fresh. So I got a lot to learn.
You got a lot to go
for
to
sure.
Look forward to for sure.
Yeah,
but anything else you want to talk about? You want to mention?
Man, I don't know. I think we
if someone wants to sell the house, reach out to you.
That's right.
What does that process look like?
Oh, it's so simple.
Okay.
So you can find me JDubBuysHouses.com.
Okay.
You can find me on Facebook, JW Epstein, Instagram at the JW Epstein.
Okay.
So just reach out. My phone number, 806-681-5167. Call me, send me a text. But you call. I mean, I need to have an idea what you're wanting for the house.
Yeah.
It's helpful. Some people don't know, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But most of the time when you're selling something, you know what you
know.
you know what you want for it. And if it doesn't work, I'll just tell you. I can't make that work.
And you're pretty honest about that.
100%.
Because whenever we've tried to look at places, houses and stuff together, you're like, dude, I can't do that.
Yeah.
This is where I need to be.
Yeah.
And you stick to it.
That's right. I've got an idea, right? And so I try to go on every appointment if the people have motivation and they're wanting to sell, because sometimes they don't know, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But I'll go look at it and tell them where I need to be, explain to them why I need to be there. Because at the end of the day, it's math. It's not magic. I'm just trying to figure out how I can be profitable on that house. I can't spend $50,000, $70,000, $100,000 to make $5. Yeah. That just
it don't work.
That's not a good. I mean, nobody's going to do that. Hey, Pedro, give me $100,000 and I'm going to hold it for 90 days. And I'm going to give you $105,000 back. No. You wouldn't do that, right?
No.
So it's got to make sense. The amount of money that I spend, I've got to make sure that I'm gonna get a return on that.
For sure. So they'll just reach out. You go meet them. Say, hey, this is what I can do.
Yeah.
You like it or not.
Yeah. And then I've closed in as little as 3 days before.
Wow, that's pretty fast.
If title's clear, then I can close. I can do 95% of all inspections that I need to do. But the only thing that I'll have checked out is the sewer line every once in a while.
Okay.
A lot, a pier and beam house. I mean, it's easy. But a slab will get me a little cautious sometimes because it can get costly. But yeah, just come and if everything's good, take it to title, and rock and roll.
So for the people that don't know, what's the difference between selling to someone like you and then putting it on the market with a realtor and all that?
Yeah. So with me, you know what you're going to get. There's certainty.
Yeah.
Some people like that and other people don't.
Yeah.
I have talked to people before and told them, you can sell this house for more money. And they look at me and they go, I know. I'm like, okay. I mean, as long as you know and understand. So the process, I mean, you go, you get a realtor comes in, they take photos, they put it online. Then you gotta try to figure out people to get approved. Yeah. They've got to go to banks. You got inspections to go through. People are going to find all these things wrong with the house. I've had people, I mean, there's times where my offer, and by the time realtor fees and commissions and inspections and repairs that had to be made, their net is the same.
Same. That's smart.
That's
so true.
Yeah. So it doesn't always happen like that.
Yeah.
Again, everything doesn't work for me. Sometimes stuff works for somebody else.
Yeah.
So there's times that somebody will reach out to me and they'll have a house and it doesn't work, and I'll call somebody else. But hey, listen,
go check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, JW, thank you for coming in.
Yeah.
I appreciate your time, and thank you for always answering the phone when I call you. Hey, even if it's a dumb question, you're there to answer it. And I like that you're always honest.
No, I appreciate
that. So that says a lot about you.
Yeah.
I mean, you're down to help people, and if hopefully someone listens to this and if they want to sell their house, they'll reach out.
Yeah, hopefully so. I appreciate you having me on.
Awesome.
No, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So
thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Maybe we can do this another time.
Yeah. No, I'd love it.
Sounds good. All right, guys. My fellow hustlers, we're done with another episode. Remember, y'all can catch these episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube, and Facebook. And we'll see y'all next time.